Hey guys, this is Pam. I wanted to shoot a real quick video for you guys to tell you a little story that happened here tonight at my house. But first, before I get into that, let me ask you a question. How many of you guys actually can hear the voice of God, and then when you hear the voice of God, actually obey immediately, right? Sometimes I think grace may be a bit of a detriment to some of us, and probably a lot of us, because we have the tendency to kind of take our time to do stuff, the majority of us anyway, and I'm guilty of it. Sometimes we can find ourselves in hot water with God, and and if you don't recognize you're in hot water with God immediately, something goes wrong around you that kind of alerts you that, hey, remember when God told you to do this? So what happened tonight was, after we ate dinner, my husband gave the smaller boys a bath, and I sent my 10-year-old son to the bathroom to go ahead and get his shower, and get into bed, because it's that time for them to get into bed, and plus he has a field trip tomorrow, so I don't want him tired and lollygagging in the morning, so I told him, son, you got 10 minutes. I'll be back in here in 10 minutes, and we'll go ahead and read your story tonight and, get ready for bed. So I'm guilty of sometimes hollering and screaming and raising my voice and everything when he's taking a little longer than what I think he should take. But I'm trying to get out of the habit of that, because I want my sons to be able to hear the voice of God the first time he speaks. And most of the time we know he doesn't come yelling and screaming with this big boom and loud sounding voice. The Word of God says that he comes in a still, quiet voice, and I want them to be able to hear his voice, to recognize his voice, and to obey his voice the very first time. So that's why I decided I would change my the way I parent them a little bit. Now me and my husband are on the same page with discipline, but some of the things that we do are just a little bit different, but it's for the betterment of our entire household. So I came into the living room and sat down, and I was working on some notes and checking on some things, and my husband came through. He said, hey, you're not paying attention to him. The water's just been running and everything, but clearly he wasn't in there taking the shower. So I let him know, hey, I gave him a 10-minute time frame, and, I'm going to go in there. If he's not done in that 10 minutes, then consequences will follow. So of course, my husband went there, told him to get in the shower and start washing up and everything, but at this point he only had 2 minutes left. So by the time I got in there, he was fully soaked up and standing under there. I said, cut the water off. He said, what? I'm not done washing up. I got soap. And I saw he had soap all over him. I said, don't care. I told you you had 10 minutes. Cut the water off. You dry off with the soap on you. And he looked at me like I was crazy. I said, I'm not playing. Cut my water off and start drying off now. He said, but I'm going to be soapy itch. I said, I don't care. I gave you 10 minutes. If you weren't in here playing around, you would have been done and you could have been in the bed. So, of course, he pouting and stuff and dried off with the soap still on his body. And, I personally felt some kind of way about doing this. But I want him to understand, and I want him to know. And I explained this to him, once we got in there and I started reading to him for tonight. My purpose of doing that, because I want him to hear and obey me the first time I speak, and not just me, but his father and those that are in his life as authority figures, but he has to first learn that at home. So I explained that to him and why I told him that we did that. So, and I told him, you know what, he'll have another chance when he get up in the morning. If he doesn't slow poke around, he can hop in the shower, take another shower first thing in the morning, which is about 8 hours away or so, 8 to 10 hours. He can hop in, wash up again, wash the soap off, but that was just to teach him a lesson, not only to hear and obey his parents, because that's the first commandment to children, to honor and obey your parents, because that commandment comes with promise, meaning it comes with long life, and God promised you that if you honor and obey your father and your mother, that you will have long life on the earth. And I've seen a lot of children that disrespect and dishonor their parents, and I don't want my children to be that way. I don't want to raise my children to disobey me and not to listen the first time we speak. I've been guilty of that, and sometimes I haven't followed through on my word. I'm guilty of it. I've done it more than what I could possibly count. But you know, we have to bring accountability to our household, because we're raising all men, we're raising leaders, and we want to teach them that we are a father and a mother, a man and a woman, husband and wife of our word. When we speak something to you, that's what we mean. And not only are we instilling that to them, that what we speak out of our mouth is true and we're going to follow through on it, but what they're going to realize is that God is a God of his word, and he honors every word he says, and he follows through every single time, you know. So guys, that was pretty much it. So like I started in the beginning, sometimes grace can be a detriment to us sometimes, and God even said that his spirit will not always strive with man. So I want to encourage you guys, when you hear the voice of God speaking to you, even in the very small things, to hear it, obey, listen, and do the very first time you hear it, because literally it could mean life or death for you or even your family one day. You know, so I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and leave me a comment, and I see you guys next video. Love you.